first thing we try to do is we create a property video. And, you've got to write the script. That's easy enough. And typically what I'll do is I'll load up the video onto Final Cut. And that's a software program, and make any changes as far as the photos that we're implementing into the video. And once I got that basics all set and done, I send it to the virtual assistant, and they put on a pre-roll, a post-roll, and any special effects. And we have a sort of canned pre-roll, post-roll that we use quite a bit, so that makes it a little bit easier for him. This is just an example of script. They don't change a whole lot. We want to make offers in the script, and those offers will be incorporated into the script that scrolls along the bottom of the video when it's done.
When I was looking at your script, Bill, it looked very, very familiar and similar to the same scripts that we would use for the information lines for the properties. To script to describe a property. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, it's perfect. So you can, everybody should know that you can do both. You got the same script that you would use for your information line on a property, you can absolutely use for video. Now, is the script specific to this being an open house, or do you use the video in other ways?
We use the video in other ways. So we don't specifically say this is an open house. The video is for the listing as well. We put that out ahead of time before it goes into the MLS, like Janelle mentioned, but we multi-purpose it, so we don't try to pigeonhole it into strictly an open house video.
The one thing I do want to say, when he's writing the script, he always has the words to use from the Proctor system. It's pinned up on his light or something next to his computer. Yeah. And it's looking pretty worn at this point in time, but we just find those words all still magic words, and we think it's important to keep using them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So everybody write that down. If you're looking for like, oh my God, how do I come up with a script? That's it. It's the same scripting that we would use for the information line.
This is probably one of the more critical frames in this PowerPoint, and that is to post your property video on YouTube as soon as possible, and in parentheses it says there prior to the MLS. Now, we've learned this from Barb before, that getting that on to YouTube and making it public gives it that ability to stay higher in the rankings on the pages when it actually does hit the MLS, right, Todd?
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's all about lead generation. Otherwise, there's no marketing at all. You're right about that too. We probably don't want to gloss over that one, is that the race to put it into MLS first can likely be the worst thing you could do for the seller and your business. Some people say, well, what do you mean for the seller? And I'm like, well, because creating more demand for the property is what drives the price up. Okay. And that's done with marketing. MLS is not marketing. That is a template that compares the property to others. And then based on the marketplace, you get people to show up in offers and that sort of thing. But marketing will drive price up.
So geofencing is another way that we advertise an open house or a property. And I think everybody's probably familiar with how geofencing works. But if they're not, it's a real common technique these days in advertisement. Everybody has seen it on their smartphone or some other device as they were driving around. Hamburger places, ads pop up, those types of things. Well, we do it for a property. So we create a specific template for the property, and I use ThumbVista, but I've also done Google Ads as well. And we upload that template into the software for ThumbVista or Google Ads and create a fence around the property or some other area wherever we want the geofencing to be. When people
somebody else's open house.
Yeah, exactly right. You got it. So that's another way to advertise for our clients.
Now, you obviously know how to, obviously creating the ad is one thing, but setting up a geofence area is something that a lot of our members don't know how to do.
Anybody can do it. Even a real estate agent can do it. It is so simple. Once you look at it and read it, you can have it done in 5 minutes. Clients love it. Like Janelle was saying earlier, when you go into a listing presentation and you're talking about all these things that you're going to do, it just blows them away. They didn't really know what geofencing was. You explain it to them, and they're going, you're going to do that for my house? Yeah, absolutely, we're going to do it for your house. And they love that stuff.
What's that cost you to drop an ad in? Let's say you're doing an open house this Sunday, and you're going to geofence anybody that walks in on that property. They're going to see your ads. What's that costing you? What is that running?
If I'm using Thumb Vista, I can usually get 18 to 20,000 presentations on a mobile device for less than $50.
That's good investment. And you can run any ad, to them, right? You could run not just that property. You could offer a home evaluation area, home sales report, something on the guaranteed sale program or trade up program.
Whatever you want. It's just a matter of getting the template in there and picking the area that you want to. And you can use geographic coordinates. That's the most difficult thing to do.
I guess the question would be, if I already have everyone's contact information that's walking onto the property for the most part, why would I send them the same open house ad when they're there? Like, wouldn't I advertise something else? And would they see that ad somewhere else? Like, once that shows up on their device there, does it follow them around where they go?
Only if they're in the geographic area. If you're talking about the geofencing, it wouldn't follow them around unless they were in the geographic area that you have the fence set up, if that was your question.
I think what Todd's also saying, and I think it's a great idea, he's saying, advertise the open house. Why don't you advertise your USPs along with that so you have multiple ones? And we've done that before, but I don't think we've really blown it up during the open house with multiple ones. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, whatever you can imagine, you can geofence easily.